Hey. Okay, so welcome to what I've been doing with my life part 2. That was a weird way to phrase it. I've been doing a lot of things with my life. Welcome to Sketchy. This is the second part of like updating where I've been over the past like 2 weeks that I was missing. Yeah, so I apologize for not posting. Hopefully I haven't fallen off your radar, but I don't blame you if that's been the case, because that's totally my fault. Yeah, so, oh man, I just thought of something fun to draw. Okay. Yeah, so obviously the episode before this I kind of talked about my painting class, which I did 2 or 3 weekends ago from now, and that was a blast. And yeah, so like now I want to talk about last weekend. So I work, or I used to work, back when I graduated from high school, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. The summer, like right after I graduated, I worked at a summer camp as a counselor, and this camp was a Girl Scout camp, and yeah, it might sound cheesy, I don't care though, but it was one of those things, like summers that was very impactful, like life-changing kind of stuff. And I've kept in touch with all the people I met and became good friends with, and I'm a part of this like camp alumni group also, that every summer I'll come in and kind of like help take care of the camp, like be the caretakers essentially. Like painting, and let's see, what did we do last weekend? We came in, we painted 2 benches, we stained a deck and a craft table, we winterized 2 buildings. That includes like cleaning and putting up storm windows, like so much cleaning. What else? We were making new curtains for all the cabins. Like basically we do a lot in 2 days, as much as possible. And, oh, we mucked the lake. How did I forget this one? This is what I'm drawing. Yeah, which includes, like, digging up all the slimy, encroaching lily pads that can't be close to the swim area without it, like, you know, taking over. Like, people have to go in and physically, like, uproot them, so, you know, that's no... You know, it's one of those things, like, all this stuff has to happen, because if it doesn't, things fall apart, and, like, decks rot if they aren't stained, things like that, you know, that has to happen, especially when these are buildings that hang out in the Wisconsin wilderness, and, you know, they don't last if people don't take care of them, kind of stuff. Yeah, so, it was a blast. Like, you know, it was a 2-day thing, so came up Friday, met up with all the people that I hadn't seen in a while. That was really great. Summer camp has always been, like, a big deal, you know. I'd been going to this camp since I was really little. Like, I went as a tadpole, which basically means you are in 1st and 2nd grade. And I've always just loved being there, so it made sense to me to kind of, to work there too. And obviously that was like a big deal and very fun, and yeah, so yeah, I'm drawing myself covered in lily pads and gross seaweed. Lily pads always look so pretty and wonderful on the surface, but they are the worst. And you don't want them, you don't want to swim in them. They're gross. They're slimy and disgusting, and not something like, their roots go really deep. And yeah, it's like, they aren't really great. They're, yeah, a really big problem because they are, I think they're technically invasive species too. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that one, but yeah, I don't know if you guys have had experiences with camp. Some people do, and some people just don't, so that's cool. I think it's a really cool thing to do when you're a kid, and if you get a chance to work at one, like, make a difference with kids. I really believe that. Like, you know, everybody in our little alumni group is super into the idea of getting kids to camp. We think it's really important. I can get really into into talking about why that is. I won't bore you, I guess. But I just think it's important for people to experience stuff like that. I think you can make really great friends and learn new things. Like, camp's all about that kind of stuff. So I always encourage people to go. And yeah, and that's why this alumni group is so good. Like, a lot of these people, like these counselors that used to work at this camp, like, have kids now, and they want to make it awesome for their kids. So, like, it's a very big deal. These people are very invested in it, so, which is great. I think it's important to have things like that that you really care about. So yeah, it was great. It was like, for example, I'll tell you a little story before I have to end this, but I was helping clean one of the bigger buildings, and we had to get storm windows up. And by the storm windows, because this is the middle of the wilderness in Wisconsin, there are these, like, overhangs, like rafter areas. So, like, if this is the side of the building, there's these, like, overhang thing that happens with the roof. And up in this area, there was just, like, cobwebs and dead bugs and spiders, like, lots. And these were where the windows were. There was more of them, but you get the idea. They go down that way. Yeah, so that needed to be cleaned. And what we really needed was a power washer, but we don't have a power washer. So instead, we just grabbed some brooms and some ladders, because that's what we do. Things need to get done. And so I ended up on the ladder brushing off all of this stuff, and it was like spiders and gunk just, like, raining down on top of my head. So very quickly I moved to the side and tried to brush it, like, away from me. That only took once to figure out. But yeah, at one point I felt a creepy crawly down my shirt, and yeah, there was a spider. Not a big one, but there was definitely a spider, like, in my shirt, and that it left my shirt. It left my shirt very fast. So, yeah, that's a thing. You know, it's fun. Even after, you know, a couple years of not working there, I'm still making memories at camp. I'll treasure that one forever and ever. Always. That and mucking in the lake. So yeah, today was a bit rambly, but that's cool. Thanks for listening, watching, I don't know what to say. But yeah, I hope you have a great week.